Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and today we're going to start our series on strings and crumbs. So I've had lots of requests and about what I do with my strings and my crumbs from all the quilting I do. So today we're going to start with a very basic string block. So today I have all my blue strings. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of them, and I do try and sort them by color. I get lazy every once in a while. I'll just throw them all into this everything, crumbs and all, into the string bin, and then I can't close the lid after a while. So we're working on strings and crumbs. So let me show you today on how to do a basic string block. This is such an easy thing to do, and you're going to have so much fun doing it. So come on in a little closer and we'll get to the sewing. Okay, so what we're going to start out with first is, what do you do with your strings that aren't quite long enough, right? I'm taking two different strings that are almost the same width, and I'm just going to sew them together. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to give a good 1/4 inch seam. Let me find my presser foot. And there we go. We'll just sew them on. Now I have a few other ones where I've sewed a few of them together, but they're not quite long enough. What you have to decide when you're doing a basic string block is how big you want to be. And I'm going to make my string blocks 6.5 inches square, so I'm just going to run a few through. Now they used to call this poverty piecing. I have no idea what they call it now. But poverty piecing was used by our grandmothers and great-grandmothers just to make things big enough. Now you can use all the different colors if you want. I have done that too. I like that kind of look. I like that crazy scrappy look. But this is what you get. And don't be afraid to throw in the ones that are a little lighter, like, you know, like this or like that. Otherwise your piece starts getting very dark looking. And I'm just finger pressing that seam open because I want it to lie flat without bumps. Because one thing with string blocks, sometimes they get very lumpy. I'm just going to move this out of the way so I have a little more room here and you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to start doing now is I'm just going to start taking strings and I'm just going to start sewing them together. Now I'm going to kind of line this up. These strings here are cut to 7-ish, you know, 7 and a bit or whatever, because I want to make my blocks eventually, I want to make them all at 6.5. So I just keep running through blocks like this, and I'm just sewing them together. I haven't got when I'm just doing a plain stitching like this, I don't worry about under papers or using different bags, or not bags, but books of scrapbooks, or what do they call those, dryer sheets or whatever. I don't worry about it. I just get in there and I sew. So I'm going to put this one through and just get it all sewn into place. Basically what you're doing is making material large enough for a string. I've got some here that are the same. It's all good. So I'm going to just kind of line it up. When you're doing this poverty piecing, it's a good idea to have a bit bigger piece on the ends. So, I mean, this is a good way of using up your crumbs too, is by just putting them poverty piecing. Now with this, I just fold it like this. I just press it over, because now my seams in the back have a place all to rest, and I notice this here is not all pressed open. A couple of them are pressed open, but you can feel the ones that are pressed open lie actually flatter. So I would recommend you continue to press them open, which sounds weird, but when you're doing it this way, you just fold it over and off you run. I'm just going to put another light piece in here. So yeah, you're sewing stuff together to make fabric. Now sometimes, like this strip right here is a little bowed. What you want to do is make it straight. So as this is a little bowed here, right? You want to make it just a tad bigger. And I'm going to put this on this side, just to move this along. Oh, this one didn't get pressed open either. Uh-oh. Oh well, it's fine. It'll be fine. These are a lot of fun to play with and do. There. And get the last little bit of this. Oh, I'm going to put a dark one in the side there, because I think that would look fun. There we go. And I try and make sure the poverty piecing matches up with a solid strip, right? Because then it makes for a little bit more secure, and it does give your seams a place to rest, right? So now, as we go along, we're going to see how all of these meet. Now you could keep sewing indefinitely, but I'm going to just put these two together and see what I end up with. Oops. You kind of have to be careful to start at one edge. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to put another light piece in here because I think that would work well. These always create such interesting looks when you do it this way. When I was managing my scraps better, I would do 100 string blocks a month. And that kept all my strings at bay. That basically took care of any issues. I'm just trimming off string. It took care of any issues of being overflowing by the end of the month. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these two together along this strip. Okay. Because that will make it good. I'll make it a good size. Did I lose my thread? No, I didn't. Okay, there. Now, also when I do string blocks, I use up any thread, older thread that's been kicking around. You know, you put it in the bobbin, or you put it on top, and you just keep moving out stuff. Okay, so here we go with a very basic string block. This is what it's going to look like. Just like that. Okay, just like that. And now, I'm going to bring my handy dandy cutting board over. And I've got a ruler, an old ruler, that has a bunch of lines kind of missing. So basically I'm a little bit big, so that's fine. That's all good. I'm just going to line it up so I get some interesting shapes. Get my rotary cutter and start trimming. Now this edge is too small, I would throw that out. It's too skinny, right? So then like that. And I just keep rotating my mat, hoping my ruler stays in place. And it's shifted, of course. And we just cut across. Just like that. This is a good little block, and here we are. Here we are. Let me show you the rest of the ones I've made. So this is the cute little crumb or string block we made, and we do have a few little crumb pieces in here and smaller strings that we pieced together. But this is what we made today. Now, I'm going to show you how many other ones I've got. I have a bunch of brown ones from the Sunflower Quilt Along. And I have a bag of red, bag of green, a bag of orange, purple, oh my goodness, there's dust, yellow, pink, of course. You have to have pink and stuff. And a bag of blue. So what I'm going to do, and this is all just putting your string straight together. There's no paper to pull off, right? This is why this is such an easy, fast sew. And even when you look at some of the, here I'll show you a pink block, you can see where I did some poverty piecing, or, you know, putting little crumbs together to make the string, that you make it into a string, to make it a little bit bigger. Now on this block too, I made a point of trying to add something bigger along the edge so I wasn't competing with seams when I do sew them together. I think these are going to make some cute little blocks, but they're all 6.5 inches square, so I can just sew them randomly into a quilt, or I can do other fun stuff that I have a whole bunch of ideas for. So come on back. We'll do some more crumb strings there this coming week. We'll have fun, and hopefully we'll get these conquered eventually. Okay, you have a great day, and I hope you have a fabulous week ahead. Bye! Thank you for watching our video today. We are just overjoyed with how our channel has grown. And we would like you to share, like, and subscribe these videos with your friends and other people. This is one of the quilts that we are considering at this time to do a sew-along for. It is a crazy original scrappy design that was made with too much coffee and too many granola bars, and it's a lot of fun to do, and it is a really good scrap buster. So share, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Our plan for 2022 is 2 different sew-alongs for sure, and 2 different case studies. And we're going to do try and do a thing on grouping on strings and crumbs, and then another one on curves. So we've got rather an ambitious 2022 planned for you here. So, like I say, I hope you come back. Have a great week ahead, and we'll talk to you later. Bye!